What's good, YouTube land? Mark Fletcher here. Last up for the deluxes, it's COG. Is he a Duocon? Not really, but sort of. It's a very weird figure. We'll get into him. Here's a picture of COG as two different chunks. I don't want to call them modes. That same shot on every package. Soon you'll be sick of seeing that picture. And showing he is a bunch of weapons. So this is COG, who's up. Is it Fort Max or is he... Is it Fort Max or Metroplex? I think it might be, this guy's an accessory for Metroplex. Here's his instructions. And here's his robot mode. It does look cool. I'll give it that. It's a very cool looking, cool blue robot. I'm blue. I'm blue. He could pass for a robot version of the Genie, and still do a better interpretation than Will Smith. That movie looks terrible. All I've seen are pictures of the trailer. I don't even want to watch the trailer. I just know that it looks awful. But yeah, let's get a good look at him. Very nice head sculpt, very standard, generic blue helmet with silver visor. He's got tons of detail on him because he's Cybertron. He's from Cybertron, the land where they have more detail on them. And you can see he's got frickin' guns everywhere. He is made up of guns. These are his guns. They don't sit in his hands very well. Like, they're kind of loose there. So I just resorted to pegging them into his forearms, which give a more stable connection. I can give him this gun, and I believe I had him holding a sword, this sword, in the previous video he was in. So yeah, COG's all about the weapons, if you couldn't tell. Just take these away, because he doesn't need them. Ooh, knocked out his other handgun. But, yeah. Articulation wise, his head swivels. This panel goes up and down. He's pegged in connection, so get a full rotation in and out. This piece can move, I guess to allow for more articulation. Elbow, bicep, nothing at the wrist. He's got a waist. Hips go forward and ratchet a bit outwards. I don't think it's a proper ratchet joint. I think it's a faux ratchet joint. Knees go beyond 90 all the way backwards. And it took me a long time to figure out he actually has a toe joint, because no other mode uses this toe joint. But, yeah. Now, to transform him, we must use the power of parts leprosy. So, pull off his arms, and pull off his waist, then rotate his head, and you have, well, plug the guns in, like the arms, into the chest, and you have half of his alt mode. Take this other piece, rotate the waist, and make sure these plug into the lines, and you have the other part of his alt mode, and they tab in with the fucking weakest connection I've ever seen. It barely goes in there. Which is also what she said. And this is by far the laziest transformation. It barely counts as a transformation. It's rip off arms, reattach arms, rip off legs, reattach legs. There is nothing interesting to it at all. But this is supposed to be like I guess a mobile arms factory, like an APC / arms factory. Like, just so much death. And I guess it's supposed to be a tank, do the tank wheel, the tank tracks, but it also has proper wheels. How many weapons can we attach? We can attach one there, peg, hole, 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 hole on the other side. He also has holes in his feet. So I could do that kind of thing. But his robot mode, his alt mode, is the least interesting thing about him. I just want to put him back in this mode for a second. Let's look at how many hard points he has. I believe he just has like 2. He's got effect parts. He's got 1 there, 1 there, 1 on each of these things that are sticking up. They're supposed to be guns. He's got a freaking peg in his belly. Does he have any on... Well, he has 1, I guess, on that part of his arm. And he has 1 on the other, supposed to be gun barrel on his arm. So he's covered head to toe in friggin' the hard points, as TF Wiki calls them. But the most interesting thing he does is we need another robot, and since the package uses Sideswipe, I'm going to use Sideswipe. It's Battleizer. It's basically robot Battleizer time. He has 2 different modes. He's got what's called a defense mode and an attack mode. So to do the defense mode, you're going to want to rip off his legs, fold them like that, and you're going to want to plug Sideswipe onto them in the peg in the hole on Sideswipe's foot. Goes right in there. This whole chunk will become like a shoulder-mounted shield. It can go on either side, but the instructions show it on that side, so that's what I'm going with. And the arms, well, they form a backpack. So pull down this tab, use the connections right there below the wrists, and now you have what's loosely labeled, gotta put that out, move that out of the way, peg it into his backpack, and you have what's loosely known as defense mode, defensive mode. And how this is a defense, I have no idea. It's literally just tons of guns. But I can give him this gun. And I can give him... I could give him his regular gun, but I'd rather give him a sword. Because Lord knows he's going to have a lot of close-range combat like this. And... actually, I'll give him... his gun... actually, on the other arm. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. So, yeah! That'd be terrifying! If I saw that in the battlefield, if I saw a robot literally bisect quadrisect himself to form giant guns for another toy, for another robot. Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. But it doesn't even stop there. You can also do this for every other robot. Skytread. Anyone else has enough points on them besides Megatron and Optimus. Megatron, it really wouldn't work well because he has a backpack already. But Hound, definitely. Shockwave, most of the stuff will work. He already has a backpack, so the backpack guns wouldn't work. But Skytread, definitely. And Optimus, not quite. But any of the deluxes, it'll work well. Now let's go to what's known as offensive mode. So take everything off. Take these off. We've gotten back down to naked side swipe. So take this and fold those pieces down, fold the peg, and rotate like, I'll fold the face back that way so it goes together like that. That's one of his weapons. That's a weapon. And what you do, keep these, and you actually take the feet. Which side is the correct side? Yes, this. Basically, you just take the foot and put it like that. Do the same thing on the other one. And then you take this gun, which is actually perfectly sized to peg into things. Or like this piece on his hand, which looks like it could be a gun. And then you tab them into the feet. Plug it into his backpack, into his back, and you've got what's basically known as attack mode. I can, yeah, unfortunately, in neither of the modes can you use his shoulder mounting for the weapon, because, you know, he's got guns already. I'll give him the sword as well. Do-do-do-do-do. Seamus and Cesaro. Do-do-do-do-do. I can plug this one in either forearm. So I'll put it there. And then we can take this, plug it into there, and holy crap, he's still got guns. He's got guns! Guns! Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. Still. Fortunately, I don't have room for the Micromasters, but that's not such a big... That's not such a big deal, in my opinion. They're kind of meh. I like them, but they're meh. And that is everything for COG. I know they're releasing another guy, another weaponizer in Wave 2. I don't remember which faction he'll be part of, but you could, if you bought a second COG, you could weaponize a COG with a COG. And I've seen how insane people get with this kind of thing. Like, this is an awesome gimmick, and I'm so glad they did it. But, oh my god, it's just freaking ridiculous the amount of stuff people can do with this. Oh. But, yeah. That's all for the Deluxes. Now we're moving on up to the Voyagers. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And keep it weird.